guys, so it's me, Neil Blackwood. I am the person for Wrestling Fanatics Federation. Now, the whole point of it was to go live while I was out there in Philadelphia the whole week. Now, if you can't tell by my voice or you haven't heard my voice before, I got sick. My energy levels got to a level where I was slugging around, just trying to make it to everything. I love that I got to be a part of one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. By stats, it is considered, one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time. I got to have a great experience in Philadelphia. Everything from the plane right there. Like as soon as we got off the plane, I was on the plane, I looked behind me and saw Bobby Lashley sitting there hanging out. And I'm just like, wow, it's Bobby Lashley. And as soon as I got off the plane, got a nice picture with him, talked to him. Super nice guy, super awesome guy. He was cool. Next day, ran into JD Madigal, like from the Judgment Day, at a random Irish pub, just down the Max Pub, to be exact, in Old Town area of Philadelphia. Again, just a awesome dude. He was drinking a Guinness. I was drinking a Guinness. Really nice guy. By SmackDown even came around, I was starting to feel sluggish already. That's when I noticed I got sick, and it was pretty much a struggle to keep going the entire weekend. In fact, my friend stayed for a whole nother day, and I had to cut out short and stuff like that. I did get to go to Friday Night SmackDown, which is a great event. I got I got pictures up at Wrestling Fanatics Federation and also on my personal at Neil Blackwood. Great event. Had a good time. It was from beginning to go. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal was really cool. The people that I wanted to win didn't win. I wanted someone like Chad Gable to win. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna knock it. Braun, that was a Braun Breaker. I'm sorry. It was Bronson Reed, I think, to believe that won that match, and it was a really, really, really good time. The smaller stage did not seem smaller in person. I know probably on air that's a thing that people have been complaining about, and it's fine. I get it that they want to fit more people into the arena, and that makes sense to me. I didn't mind it at Monday Night Raw. I didn't really mind it at SmackDown. The new ones that even came out this week that are a little bit bigger than the ones that we had over at WrestleMania or over at Monday Night Raw and SmackDown for the WrestleMania weekend. I think it looked perfectly fine. I think everything will be great. So then we got to see like Elektra Lopez versus Selena Vega. That was cool. New Catch Republic went against Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, and the judgment came down and totally stopped that from happening. We got to see the turn of on. I'm trying to think of what they're calling him these days. Is it Andre? I'm trying to see if it's that they just said Andre. Jey Uso versus Solo was great. But the thing I got to see that night, I think by far, which was the coolest thing, was the WWE Hall of Fame speech by Paul Heyman. Now, Paul Heyman and ECW in Philadelphia is also a big thing. In fact, at the time that me and one of my friends were sitting there watching Paul Heyman's Hall of Fame speech, two of my other friends are down the road at the original ECW venue watching the hardcore event going on. And the wrestlers from that event were literally coming over and like sneaking themselves into the back row of Hall of Fame, like the Dudleys, Tommy Dreamer, RVD, as the event's going on. And Paul Heyman said one of the greatest lines I think I've ever, one of the greatest speeches I believe I've ever seen from Hall of Fame speeches. Now, we can fight all day about that and stuff like that. I was at the WrestleMania Undertaker 38 Hall of Fame speech. And I saw that one in person, which was very, very loving and helpful. But there was nothing better than when Paul Heyman said, if you think ECW died in a bankruptcy in 2001, then you can suck my fucking dick. Like, there is nothing I loved more than that speech right there. Besides that, great Friday night atmosphere. Awesome. Led right into Saturday night one of WrestleMania. I felt like, now in retrospect, I feel like was just an awesome opening to what night two is going to be. Now, night one, we did start off with one of my favorite matches, I think, of the entire event, which was Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. One thing that caught my eye, all right, you can go back and see this or whatever, but if Rhea Ripley and the lead singer of Motionless in White are not related, I think someone needs to check it. I don't know, because they look like they could have been brother and sister, like, or they're cousins or something. But by any means, great opening, great match. I mean, Triple H opened up the whole WrestleMania, which, anytime you get to see H out there, especially if you're from the era of WrestleMania fandom that I'm from, you always going to give a big applause. Then it was the big tag team event after Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch tore the house down. I mean, they beat the hell out of each other. What it was reported that Becky Lynch had strep throat or sickness during the event. I didn't know that until after and going back and rewatching the night. But not knowing that, I couldn't tell she wasn't missing a step. Like, it was just a great match, bell to bell, all 17 minutes of it. The next match felt like it was short, but the thing is, it was 17 and a half minutes to it. And that was the tag team match with the ladders and all the titles and stuff like that. I liked how they've split it up. They needed to be split up again. They needed to go in two different directions. I think that was a fair agreement on what we needed to do with those belts. Now, moving those and taking those and separating them and going their own way, I think makes it so more tag teams can be involved. And let's see how many tag teams are coming up from NXT, how many tag teams are getting formed together now. I mean, even Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin have a tag team. The Wolf Dogs, are doing their thing right now. So that's really cool. Also, having R-Truth and The Miz having a run with the titles. R-Truth deserves another title, one last title run. I mean, I don't know exactly, without looking out, I don't know exactly how old he is, but I think he's like 4,200 years old this time. I know he's in his 50s. That's what I believe he's like. I'm going to say he's like 52. He's 52 years old, and he's still performing stunts like he did in that ladder match. That is ridiculous. Nobody should be able to do that and just be able to get it right off the foot. Another thing, the back and forth. I would have loved to seen, like DIY, like Tomasa and Johnny Wrestling get those belts. But, I'm sure that's going to come down before. But the only thing that was hiccup, which I think you guys probably caught it at home too, was that the New Catch Republic, their stuff, that they came out and it was still Awesome Truth saying, but that happens. We're all human. No one's perfect. If you want perfection, I mean, I don't know what to do with that. But after that match, again, another great match, gave us a great moment. I might have a picture of it somewhere. Let me see if that's the right one. It's hard to see. Oh, nope, that is the man's. It's hard to see on the system that they give you here. That's Rhea Ripley's opening. No, that's the girls fighting. And nope, that's Rockin' Rock. All right, well, I thought I had a picture loaded up for us, but maybe I do. Oh, there's JD. JD was such a nice guy. I can't tell you how much of a good guy he was. Next was the Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso match. Again, for some reason this keeps on being called like the lesser match of the night. I don't agree with that. I thought it was still a good match. I thought it went bell to bell, was great. It was only 11 minutes. And I thought it was good. It did exactly what it needed to do. It finished the story between the two brothers. It came to an end. I mean, they had a super kick off at one point, but that's nothing more than what the Young Bucks do these days, so I get why some wrestling fans aren't happy with the super kickoff, but the super kick, I feel like at this point is nothing more than how the DDT is just a random move, how the suplex is just another move. Like they're moves that are now just part of everyone's arsenal and not like a super finisher like they used to be back in the day. I totally skipped Rey Mysterio and Andre versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. That was great. I was in the crowd, and of course, when the ending came with the two masked wrestlers, I was like, "Oh, that's Jason Kelsey," and everybody's like, "No, no, no, no." I go, "Dude, that's obviously Jason Kelsey." I love that the commentary people were like, "Oh, it's Travis. What is it? It was Taylor Swift's boyfriend's brother." When I back and watched it, I thought that was hilarious. It was a good time. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, Naomi defeated the Damage Control. That was a badass match. I love that they're showing the strength of Cargill and Bianca Belair. I love that they're already moving them into a tag team. Awesome, cool. Get them in there. Let them, because they're going to destroy people. They're easily going to take titles away from Damage Control if that's or Kabuki Warriors, Asuka and Kairi Sane, if that's the next step. Now, this other one, people are going to yell at me for if you come back and you watch the video. Sami Zayn defeated Gunther. I didn't agree with that. I get it. You're trying to tell a happy story at WrestleMania, but we're already getting a happy story in the main events. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I don't think Sammy was the guy. Me and a bunch of people had this discussion there in Philadelphia. I felt like Chad Gable was the guy. And I get it. They're building a story. I see it. But I just think Sami Zayn has already had his moment at WrestleMania. And that's literally as these talents that work as workhorses, that work day in and day out. All they want at the end of the day of all this run is to have the title or to have a moment at WrestleMania. And I thought that was the opportunity to give Chad Gable his moment at WrestleMania, because Sami Zayn already had it. He had it last year. No, WrestleMania 39, when him and Kevin Owens beat the Usos for the tag team titles. I think he already had his moment. I don't think this was the time for Sammy to have another moment. He had the Johnny Knoxville match at 38, which, yeah, it was a comedy match, but still, that was another moment. The guy is just giving moment after moment after moment after moment. Look, Sami Zayn's a good wrestler. Nice guy. Seems like mostly awesome dude, but give those moments to some other people. Spread the love. Spread the love. And finally, of course, the match that everybody absolutely loves, and it's, I think, the second longest match in wrestling main event history for WrestleMania, and that was the Bloodline versus Cody Rhodes. A Bloodline featuring the final boss, The Rock, and the tribal chief, Roman Reigns, defeat Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. Now, that match actually came right by us because we were just row 16 right there on the floor. And that match came right by us. I got a video, I believe I have up at either at the Wrestling Fanatics Federation YouTube channel or on the main page on Facebook. And that match came right next to us. That match was intense. I cannot even tell you. All the two main events were just really, really intense. That one being one of the major ones. Man, that just, especially when I go back and watch it, because again, being there, you don't see the extra things. So we didn't see. We saw that The Rock jumped out of the ring and went down there and talked to Mama Rhodes, but we didn't see that live. Live, we saw them just having a great match, having a banger of a match. But the additives of commentary and the additives of the story of what was going on, and having The Rock pin Cody, I thought that was exactly the way that should have been booked. That was great. I loved every moment of it. Went home, got some sleep. That's a lie. We stayed out until I can't remember how many hours. But then we went the next day, got to go to the tailgate party. I'm sorry. We went to get a tailgate party, got to meet, like, Mojo Riley was there, Top Dollar was there. Who else was there? Kurt Angle was there and stuff. So awesome people, awesome day. And then we got to get into second night too. Now, if my friends see this, they're gonna just yell at me and they're gonna love every moment of this, because I called this match, this first match of WrestleMania Night 2. I called this a week ago. Like a week ago, I called this. And that is Drew McIntyre defeated Seth freaking Rollins. I knew that was going to happen. I knew the next part too. I knew CM Punk was going to get involved somehow. And I knew as soon as he got involved, Damian Priest was going to come. I knew that. Okay, I called the Judgment. I knew Rhea Ripley was going to retain. I called the Judgment Day was going to lose both their tag titles. Gone. Boom. But then I was like, Damian Priest is cashing in on Drew McIntyre. He won't even be champion for 10 minutes. And what was he? 5 minutes? 5 minutes long? CM Punk attacked him. Then came down the wonderful Damian Priest to cash in and become the World Heavyweight Champ. That's exactly what I wanted. Because if not, then by the end of the weekend, you'd have two factions that were dominant before WrestleMania weekend. But now they mean nothing. And that's why I was like, man, someone's got to come dominant. One of these factions have to become dominant by the end of it. Damian Priest cashing in, making him the World Heavyweight Champion, the Monday Night Raw Champion. Rhea Ripley's the Monday Night Raw Women's Champion. That is awesome. I can't wait to see where the story goes. I don't know if someone gets jealous in the Judgment Day and turns on. I don't know how it goes. I don't know how it plays out, but I can't wait. I'm here for it. They knocked it out of the park. Now, the Pride, Bobby Lashley, which Bobby Lashley, again, awesome dude. You ever get a chance to meet him in person, literally, really, really cool guy. Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford with B-Fab defeated the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Razor, Scarlett by pinfall. All right. What are we doing, Karrion Kross? It seems like ever since he got called up from NXT, he's like, oh, I'm the ultimate badass. But he never wins against anybody but jobbers. Like, he doesn't ever win anything. You can't call someone a badass and him not win a match or two at least. I get it. Again, it's WrestleMania. We're trying to get all the good feelings out there and stuff like that. But you got to start making these guys win some stuff. Make it so they're scary. Make it so they're beating the heck out of people and winning. They got to have the 3 count. They got to have that victory. If they don't, then what do they mean? They're nothing. They're just a bunch of people that talk trash that get beat up every time they come out there. It's like the Job Squad back in the day, or I'm trying to think of the other names of some of the groups back in the day that always talk trash and never made it out there. But The match is great though. The tables, adding Bubba Ray Dudley, getting the Philly crowd to yell, "Get the tables!" The "What's up?" Stuff like that. You really did. I understand what that purpose of that match was, and great. But find some other way. Final Testament needs to have something. They need to have some tag belts. They need to have a belt. They need to have a reign. They need to do something to make themselves seem scary, because at this point, they just seem like people that run their mouths a lot. And I'm not dissing their wrestling ability. I love their wrestling ability. I'm just, let's book them a little bit better so they are scary. 1 second. Sorry, again, I am sick. I just didn't want to cough in the microphone towards you guys. Again, all right, next match. LA Knight defeats AJ Styles. Banger of a match. They went back and forth. LA Knight did some really cool creative moves. It ended when the good old LA Knight did, his finisher. It was great. It wasn't like the best match of the night or anything like that, but it was still a banger of a match. I would literally, I'm not Dave Metzler, so I don't give 5-star ratings or anything like that. It was still very entertaining. It was a good match. I want LA Knight to get something at some point. I don't know what you get him. I don't know if you get him King of the Ring and then push him towards a title or what. But LA Knight needs something. At some point, he needs a payoff for all this ass kicking he's been doing. Logan Paul defeats Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. I don't care what you say about Logan Paul, but the guy since day one has been bringing nothing but banger matches, great ideas, helping out the industry. Everything from his webcast show, Impulsion, into even doing the Prime spot. I mean, that gives money to the company, which makes it easier for them to have people around. To him interviewing superstars, and you can see the man puts the work into it. He has, how many moments can you name from Logan Paul alone in the last 2 to 3 years? Like, I can name, Miz turning on him, the Ricochet double hit body, the brass knuckles, the man in the prime, all the different, him drawing on the inside of the Elimination Chamber match. He's making moments. And in WWE and professional wrestling, that's what it's about. You have to, not only do you need to be a good athlete or, have the it factor or whatever, but making moments is the bottom line about what you need to do in pro wrestling. If you don't have those moments, then you're never going to be able to, be a big star. And Logan Paul came right in the front door and said, "Hey, dude, there's a slot in there for me. I know it, and I'm taking it." And he's had a great run with the United States Championship. The only thing I'm one of those guys that'd like to see my champion a little more often. I'm not the part-timer club. I don't like the part-timer stuff. I think even weekly, if they're not wrestling, they need to maybe not always cut a huge promo in the ring, but at least have something going on and stuff like that. You're a champion. Someone's got to be chasing them. That's the whole point of that. Next match, Bayley defeats Io Sky via pinfall. Bayley's entrance at WrestleMania was ridiculous. Oh, talk about another entrance. Kevin Owens and Randy Orton making fun of Logan Paul's entrance with the golf cart just for a second because he rode on the big truck. That was hilarious. I laugh. I snorkel laugh, I think, at that point. Bayley defeating Io Sky. Bayley entrance, the Pharaoh thing. Oh my gosh. Theatrical. Amazing. This match was just another banger of a match. I know Bayley just jumping off the rope at one point. I know there's a reversal that went into a roll up. That was amazing. That was just one fine work, and that was a payoff that we all wanted to. Now, let's get to it. Considered the best main event match in WrestleMania history, not by my opinion, by many. I've seen this across the board. But I'll add it to it. Yeah, but one of the best main events in the history of it. The last 10 minutes is now being considered the greatest 10 minutes in pro wrestling history. One match went right next to us. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes also coming out with the skull mask. Oh, that was cool. Like, I want that skull mask. Cody Rhodes, if you ever see this video, just send it right over. I'll be more than happy to take it. Cody Rhodes, awesome match. Awesome. How do I even explain to you how it felt there? I was at Rock versus Hulk Hogan at WrestleMania 18, and that was the vibes I had for the ending of this match. The beginning, the whole match. People were standing on their chairs. People were yelling people to get off the damn chairs so people could watch behind them. It was insane. It was just insane. The match had come down the hall right next to where we were sitting. That whole Roman Reigns was going to suplex him to the floor, but then Cody Rhodes reversed it, suplex on those boxes. That was right next to where I was sitting at, me and my group of friends. Great match. Then you had you had Jimmy Uso come out, Jey Uso come out, Solo came out, take care of let's see, Jimmy came out, Jey took care of Jimmy by spearing him off the ramp. Solo came out, kept spiking the hell out of Cody. Then all of a sudden, here comes John Cena. John Cena takes care of Solo because of what Solo, did to him when he went. Yeah, the last time they fought each other, I believe it was at the Crown Jewel. I'd have to look that up. I don't want to say that and be wrong. But then here comes The Rock, the final boss. Now, I hear all this whining online about, it was supposed to be Austin. It was supposed to be Austin. Hey, it didn't happen. It wasn't Austin. But it's still The Undertaker, who has faced more members of the bloodline, the real whole bloodline. I mean, what? He's been against the Head Shrinkers, off the top of my head, against the Head Shrinkers, Umaga. He faced Rikishi. He's faced, then he wrestled the Usos at one point. I'm sure he did at some point. Like, I don't think there's anybody on The Rock constantly. Like, I don't think Roman Reigns. I don't think there's anybody in the entire Rock's family that's been a pro wrestler in the last 40 years that hasn't gone. Oh, and Yokozuna. Well, how did I forget Yokozuna? Oh. Yokozuna being one of the biggest of all time. But these guys have history. So yeah, of course, Rock in Austin is the one main event that's main event in WrestleMania, 3 times at 15, 17, 19. But this was still, when that gong went off, that crowd went nuts, and the lights on the phones went went on automatically. Like, it was amazing. The ending of the match, of course, we get the one, the only Cody Rhodes as your new WWF Universal undisputed WWE Universal Champion. And I love it. That was a 2-year story, 3-year story. Like, who tells stories like that in professional wrestling anymore? That went on an arc of a story where it was happiness, it pissed you off, it did everything throughout. Like, I know I lost money at WrestleMania 39 when Cody Rhodes lost. Like, it was just great. It was amazing, and I can't wait to see what they're already going in good directions. I was there the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, standing right there. I think I was one of the people who started the chant, "This is awkward." because when they're doing the title thing, because we didn't realize what it was from. But yeah, going right into Monday Night Raw. Next night, Monday Night Raw, Cody Rhodes and The Rock and that exchange. That's a throwback to when The Rock introduced the belt, and then Cody Rhodes came out there when he was good old mustache Cody Rhodes. And he was like, I just want to see the belt I'm gonna make, that's gonna be known with me. And now it is. It is. He's the guy defeated the guy held it the longest. That belt is going to be known for him before he changes it, because I'm guessing the Big Eagle belt is come back, the Winged Eagle belt. And Rock basically just told us, I'm going to be gone for a bit, which he does. He's going to go film some A24 movie, and which is great. I'm a movie podcaster as well. Movies that don't suck and some that do. Please go check it out. And man, it was great. It was a great exchange. The This Is Awkward thing, it's because how the crowd felt. It wasn't like anybody was trying to make fun of the situation. It was just like, why are they holding each other? So like, if you would have felt it was an awkwardness like on the level there at Monday Night Raw. The chant was totally worth every minute of it. And right after that, we get right into like Shinsuke Nakamura versus Dragunov. Man, great match. Dragunov is definitely going to be a player. He's going to be Bryan Danielson. He's going to be I'm trying to think of what names I can say without getting canceled. But like he's going to be one of those like very good mat wrestling specialists, like a Dean Malenko. That's what he reminds me of. Like the Dean Malenko meets Bryan Danielson. And I can't wait to see more from him. If you haven't gone to watch NXT Stand and Deliver from the weekend, I just recently did, because there's so much to do during the weekend. We couldn't get it all in. You can only, man, we're only human, man. You can only get to so much of the night. Then we had the Judgment Day come out with the R-Truth interrupting again. I got the title back for the, full circle, man. Like R-Truth is like, if you don't think he is a comedic genius by this point, I don't think we're on the same level in this world. But him, all of that. They announced the draft, I believe, a promo for the WD draft. So that's cool. That's coming up. That's going to switch things up a little bit. And it gives a chance to, make things that seem a little stale a little bit better, and stuff like that. Then it was a 2-on-3 Judgment Day versus R-Truth and Miz and their partner who you can't see, which I feel like the crowd didn't even pick up on that. Like, and one second. And the other thing is, like, if the crowd didn't pick up on that, I understand that Judgment Day was trying to sell it. I mean, the guy literally for like how many years? 20 years had "You Can't See Me" on the back of his t-shirt. I was like, oh, Cena's coming. And my friend's like, and here comes Cena. Great spot. That is 5 moves of death. Got in, got out. It was awesome. Liv Morgan then jumped Ripley in the back. We couldn't really see it. So that's the only problem I have with this new stage. If you're going to do the new stage and stuff, cool. You got to put up screens, guys. You got to put up something so we can see the action. Like, we were row 3, which, yeah, we can see what's going on in the ring. But, like, when these backstage segments were happening, like when they showed, when Triple H showed Cody Rhodes that video, right? We were knocking into people behind us, trying to look directly up at the monitors that were above us. We couldn't see the one on the floor. It wasn't on the trailing around the screen or something like that. But if you're taking something away, you got to add it somewhere else, because those visuals of what's going on backstage helps the show itself of the people that are in the arena. So definitely, please add some kind of monitoring system and stuff like that from here on out. I mean, like at WrestleMania, they had like a big screen back in the corner. Not a back in the corner, but on the other side of the stage. So if the stage is this way, on the other side over there, they had a video area where you could see stuff. And that was great because, we were row 16. And so sometimes we'd look up like that, but there's lighting right in front of that. So it's like you got to give the audience to be able to stay with the show. And that's my only really big complaint. Perez versus Indy Hartwell. Now, Roxy, I know they're trying to put Roxy, but man, I was there, and Indy Hartwell was getting a lot of chance. There was a lot of love for Indy Hartwell in person. I don't know if we weren't mic'd enough or whatever, but it didn't seem like it when I watched back the show. But no, there's a lot of Indy chants going on. It's like Indy, like so. I don't know where they're going to go with that. They're probably going to push Roxanne, I'm guessing, more than anything. Then Sami Zayn's International Championship when he comes out. Or he comes and says his little bit. And he beat Gunther on a 666 day. I thought that was hilarious. And then they come out and they say, blah, 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 blah. And so then we get Chad Gable versus Chad Gable and Sami Zayn versus Imperial. I see where they're going with this. All right. I don't want to give you a spoiler or anything, but it's obvious Chad Gable's going to turn on Sami Zayn soon to go for that Intercontinental title. We got a video packet for Sheamus. See, I haven't rewatched Monday Night Raw. I haven't watched it except for what I did in the arena. Did not see that at the arena because we didn't have those screens to see. So I get that you're making it smaller. I get the reason why you're doing it, but you just got to add screens somewhere. Figure that out if you could, guys. Then Imperium versus the Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. They hug, Chad Gable and Zayn win. You know where that's going. We all know. They tell us about all the sellouts they did, which, did. Jade Cargill just crushing Chelsea Green. I mean, it was crushing. I mean, poor Chelsea. I thought she was going to go through the ring. Like, it's bam. And I was like, oh, that one hurt. But that was a really good, it did exactly what it was supposed to do. Drew came out. He was mad. He's very mad. He wants to all. He's very, very mad. But then we got the fatal four-way for the number one contendership of the heavyweight championship. Versus, it was the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, versus Big Bronson Reed, Ricochet, and main event, Jey Uso. And, of course, this is when we get the winner is, of course, main event Jey Uso, because everybody's favorite pro wrestler, CM Punk, came back, effed over Drew McIntyre. Again, I mean, this is all Drew's fault. There's this wonderful, I can't remember what YouTuber or who did it on what platform, but there's a wonderful TikTok short video, whatever. I think maybe I saw it on Reddit, where the lady just goes, all you had to do was leave. All you had to do was leave. If you just left, you could have grabbed your wife, got the hell out of there. You'd still be a champion. But now, like, oh my gosh, one of the most hilarious videos I've seen. Whoever that is, give props. Hey, you can tag them in this video if you want. But literally love the stories that they're coming up with. We're already into the next season, getting ready for WrestleMania 41 now. We got to start the story again. And to be honest, I love it. I love everything that's coming up. They call it the Paul Levesque era. I don't know if we want to call it the Paul Levesque era. Call it Levesque era. You know, I don't think we need to put the full name or just the Triple H era or the H era. But I like where it's going. I love the positivity of it all. I love that, you know, the only thing I think that needs to stop, and I think this needs to stop doing this comparison of wrestling against other wrestling. I mean, it's always going to be I get that, but I don't see the hate of like college football versus pro football. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the hate of minor league baseball versus major league baseball. I don't see the hate between, you know, soccer or football, European football against, you know, soccer in America. Like I don't I don't see that much hate as much as I see this AEW, WWE, TNA thing. That just all needs to stop. All right. Just stop. Stop taking stabs at each other. Triple H did it at the Pat McAfee show. Will Ospreay did it on Wednesday night. They had the EVPs, the Young Bucks. They did it, taking a step. Just stop it. Look, if you try to go against each other, then it's someone's going to win and someone's going to lose. And why? There's plenty of space for everybody. And if you make it negative against the other company, then you're going to have your own fans turn on you because they don't want to deal with that negativity. All right, let's try to keep resident of wrestling fun, positive, and, you know, have a good time. Yeah, there's going to be yelly, nasty people in any sport. It doesn't matter if it's sports entertainment or sports. There's going to be people that are going to say derogatory terms and stuff like that because they don't know how to have an actual intelligent conversation or say their feelings about what they're feeling. They don't understand that, oh yeah, I don't like that, so you can't like that, is what what they believe. And I don't understand why that's a thing. I never understood why that's a thing. Like, I like all kinds of different versions of different things, of everything, from different artists, from different decades, from the different eras and stuff like that. And I think it's just kind of that time that we just stop that. I think that's going to be a good way to end this video here. I had a great time Wrestlemania weekend. Thank you, WWE. Thank you for all the pro wrestling. I got to see everybody from meeting Blue Meanie to Bobby Lashley, Braun Strowman, Kurt Angle, all this stuff. Any person I met on the whole entire weekend, awesome. Thank you, guys. Everybody was awesome, guys. Crash Bang Boom, great punk store in Philadelphia. Go to that. Seriously, can't even tell you how awesome it is. Patty's Bar was a great place. Went there. O'Neill's, didn't spell it right. They got the Neal, but that's okay. They can fix it in the future. But seriously, and guys, as pro wrestling fans, let's do better. Let's do a positive out there and try to come together. If we want to talk wrestling, and yeah, maybe you don't like CM Punk, and I like CM Punk, or maybe you like the result of this and I don't. Great. Let's talk about it like sportsman-like. And let's not go in this whole bashing, using derogatory comments that don't even belong in this decade. And let's have a good time watching professional wrestling. This has been Neil Black for This has been Neil Blackwood for WFF, Wrestling Fanatics Federation, by wrestling fans, for wrestling fans. You have a good day. See you.